Hello everyone, we're playing some more Battlefield Hardline today. This is a decent gameplay. I haven't been able to get that great of a gameplay lately just because, I'm not the greatest player at Battlefield Hardline, just because I don't play it every day. But it's a decent gameplay nevertheless. I think I get like a 2 KD. Team does lose in the end, but it's a nice competitive game, which is always fun to watch. It's fun to play as well. Kind of frustrating though, whenever you get killed all the time. But oh well. Just today what I'd like to talk about is why Battlefield Hardline gets so much hate. Because it seems like there's a lot of people that are just like, man, this game sucks, it's just reskinned of Battlefield 4, and it's the same thing, it's a $60 DLC. To these people, I say, well, I can see where you're coming from to say that, but I kind of disagree that it is a $60 DLC, because there is a bunch of content in Battlefield Hardline and plays very differently from Battlefield 4, so I'm not sure that you could refer to it as a $60 DLC. I mean, but at the same time, I wasn't around playing Battlefield whenever the Vietnam DLC came out for Bad Company 2, which I guess you could almost say is about the same thing as what Hardline technically is. It's a different time setting, different weaponry, all that, but it's a DLC. So now, of course, this brings up the question of, well, since it was a DLC back then, why is this not a DLC? And the only answer I have to this is, well, it's a different game. And that's a nice three-man Molotov there. Battlefield Hardline is really entirely different from Battlefield 4 in my eyes, because Battlefield 4 is more so focused on, large, huge scale map gameplay. Not a lot of close quarters, there's vehicles everywhere, that's why, there's tanks and all that stuff, and jets and all that stuff, while Battlefield Hardline is more so infantry based. I know there is a few vehicles that you can use and all that, but overall, it's essentially just, entirely different, because the goal is not to go around blowing up tanks or sitting on a random boat 700 meters away with your SRR, whatever the heck that sniper was in Battlefield 4, that people would just sit on boats 300,000 million meters away and snipe people from. Like, that's just not, it's not what Battlefield Hardline is. It's entirely different gameplay experience. Like, if they had tried to, say, use the weapons and all that from Battlefield 4 in Battlefield Hardline, I'm not quite sure it would work, because that would really change things up very differently, because, even the classes in this game are different, Enforcer has C4, not Recon, which kind of makes it, or I guess it's not even called Recon, it's called Professional in this game, which, looking at Battlefield 4 terms, where Recon had the C4, that would make it, like, kind of OP in this game, almost, just because destroying vehicles is kind of, or I guess the inability to destroy vehicles is one of the reasons why I don't really play as Professional that much, just because if I'm playing Hotwire or something like that, it's very difficult to do that. So if we had C4 on that class, why would I not just run around with that and chuck C4 out the windows and then sit on a hill 9 million meters away with C4 placed on the road like a big old scrub and just watching through my sniper scope to see when somebody drives past it and blow it up. But it's just like things like that. The difference is in balance and how the games play differently. That is why I don't think that Hardline really should have even been considered as a Battlefield 4 DLC. They're just two different games. Now, I know from just watching reviews and all that stuff of Battlefield Hardline, there's quite a lot of people that are like, don't buy this game, it's terrible. And look, well, for once Dave actually plays the objective, unlike last time. But the people they're just like, oh, this game's terrible, lack of content. It's entirely like Battlefield 4, and as I've previously said, it's not like Battlefield 4. But this game is worth $60 if you're willing to, like, just have fun with it, because if you're like a truly competitive hardcore gamer, then maybe this game probably isn't going to be worth $60 to you, just because this is one of those games that you can mess around in and have more fun than if you're trying to play seriously. Just because of the gadgets and all the goofy things and random, like Molotov Central Catholic right there, where I just keep chucking Molotovs everywhere. But like it's just one of those games where you can just have fun, but if you try too hard, then you might just get frustrated with the random gadgets and all that stuff and horrid weapon balance that kind of exists, and all that. But I think the issue is there's way too many people that try to make this game into like the most serious FPS shooter of all time that's worth professional leagues and all that stuff and 30 million hours of replayability, which I honestly think this game does have a lot of replayability just because I'm a casual gamer, so I can run around and shoot stuff and have fun throwing Molotovs out car windows while trying to no-scope through the door of an abandoned build. I don't even know. Stupid stuff like that. That's just is funny. And, but the only problem is I tend to see that a lot of competitive gamers don't like to quote-unquote have fun in a game. They just like to try, they like to win, get 40,000 KD, you know, like, for instance, Greg Hutchinson playing Call of Duty the other day. He's just like, I'm doing so bad in this game. I'm just like, Greg, you're like 81 and 13. And he's just like, yeah, that's terrible. I'm like, oh, Greg, don't try too hard. You might hurt yourself. But it's just people like, you know, like the more hardcore gamers that, you know, tend to just do really well in all games. And look at that guy just get turned on. He was trying to no-scope me. I ain't taking none of that. But it's just things like that where people tend to take the game like really serious, and they, you know, they want to do really well just because that's how they have fun in the game. They have fun by doing well, while casual gamers just more so have fun by just kind of messing around, you know, winning occasionally, getting a few kills, you know, doing what I'm doing right now and just sneaking up behind people and shooting them in the back because you can't kill them face to face because you're bad. Stuff like that. But that's why I feel as though some people won't like Hardline, is because it really doesn't cater to the competitive player who likes to, you know, get 30,000 kills in a game with like 2 deaths. And more so caters to the people who like to screw around, such as myself. And it's for this reason that I feel that is why a lot of the like the big YouTubers and all that stuff say that Battlefield Hardline isn't really that great of a game. For instance, like Angry Joe said it was lack of content and all that stuff, and I didn't even really watch the whole thing. I just kind of looked at the end for the score that he gave it, which was a 5 out of 10 average, which, you know, I guess that's not bad. I mean, it's not great, though. It's kind of terrible, especially for Angry Joe, but he's always harsh at reviewing games, and most of the time he gives really low scores. I feel as though I've watched the last, I don't know, maybe 12 or so of his reviews, and all of them are like, this game sucks. This game's terrible. Corporate Commander's gonna come on and steal all your money. And and one thing I am gonna say for Battlefield Hardline right now is I wouldn't buy premium yet, just to see, like, make sure that enough people are gonna stay on this game to make sure that, you know, like the replayability is gonna be there. Because if this game isn't gonna be alive in, you know, like a year or so, because people are just gonna be like, this game sucks, then, you know, premium obviously isn't going to be that good. And also Battlefront. Star Wars Battlefront's coming out in, I don't know what it is, it's sometime in the fall this year, which is like, oh my god, Star Wars Battlefront's going to be legit. If DICE messes it up, I'm going to kill them. Honestly, like, I will drive to DICE headquarters in, like, a Stormtrooper uniform or something, or a wizard costume, well, and just be like, hey, DICE, what's the big deal? But yeah, long story short, don't go ahead and buy premium just yet, just to make sure, because since this game isn't getting great reviews, that probably means some people may not buy it, just because they'll be like, well, IGN, I don't even know what IGN gave this game, but just to use an example, IGN gave this game a, I don't know, 6 out of 10, not buying it. Must not be fun. Yeah, don't do that, because that's how you realize that you might be missing out on a game. Just because reviewers are good for getting a general idea of the game, but honestly, there's no way to tell if a game is good or not unless you actually play it. Just because reviewers like to give games really harsh scores and just look at every minute detail that you're probably not even going to really recognize whenever you're playing the game. Like, if a game's enjoyable to you, then it doesn't matter what the score is that reviewers give it, just because it's an enjoyable game. Such as Battlefield Hardline. People hate it. I love it. It's wonderful. So now, to tell you if you are considering about buying Battlefield Hardline, should you purchase it or should you not? And to that I say, well, you have to decide, I guess, for yourself, if you're a competitive gamer or a casual gamer. For instance, if, like, I don't know, you play you have 70,000 hours played in Call of Duty with a 9.0 KD and every attachment unlocked on everything, I would consider you a competitive gamer. Or say you're a legendary eagle in Counter-Strike Global Offensive and you win like over half of your games, then I would consider you probably a competitive gamer. Just because if you're putting that much effort into a game and winning, I mean, unless you're just naturally really good, then chances are you try more and you don't mess around as much. So Battlefield Hardline would not so much be for you. But, you know, you still can try and have fun in Battlefield Hardline, as, you know, such as this gameplay right here that I'm having. Just because, you know, there's not much to mess around with, really, here. It's a nice competitive game, fun to play. Fast-paced, I died a lot. Well, I always die a lot. But I died a lot, got quite a few kills. Like right here, I got to play nice defensive. It was kind of fun, kind of like defend the fort, defend your little vault from all the oncoming attackers that are trying to kill you. And look, well, I accidentally like cut the gameplay here, or my recording glitched. But I think I'm gonna jump around in the gameplay a little bit just because it was kind of boring here. But anyways, for the final verdict on the worth of Battlefield Hardline, it is a very fun game. So if you're a casual gamer, go ahead and purchase it. It's definitely worth the purchase. You'll get a good amount of fun out of it. If you're wow, that's pro Dave aim right there. Actually, I was looking at like a freaking wall or something. But if you're like a truly competitive gamer, then I might even advise against buying it just because it has balance issues. It's got, you know, all sorts of stuff, goofy gadgets that might get you really mad. So if you're someone like that, I would look into it more before buying the game, just because you might get very mad at the game. But overall, I find it fun. I'm casual. Some people are not. And really, that's all I have to say on the worth of Battlefield Hardline. Yes, worth it. If you like to have fun and not try, like me, who plays Battlefield Hardline like once a week on like the weekends, just because I have no time otherwise. But yeah. So now, I guess all that we have left is gameplay, which there's quite a funny thing that comes up in a little bit. And right here, I don't know what I was doing. I was just like, maybe someone's... Actually, I think I was just playing more Defend the Vault. Because the team actually was getting a decent bit of a comeback right here. Like, we were down by quite a bit. We started raiding their vault. We brought in a lot of money to ours. And then we were like, alright guys, maybe we can do this. You know, we had cleared everyone away from our vault, so it was you know, always nice and good. And then I was like, all right, guys, don't worry, I'm gonna go inside and I want to bring in back in money right as soon as I figure out how to open that door, which I nearly forgot how to open. But yeah, as far as how I am at Battlefield, I'm terrible. Like honestly, I would not consider myself too great of a player. Like I just get goofy kills like this with, you know, throwing Molotovs and then reloading and getting shot in the face because I'm in the middle of the battlefield and reloading. And then, oh, have I missed? Oh, I must have cut out the goofy part. Fear not, I shall add it in right now. This is what is referred to as a CMAC grenade in our CSGO group, wherever we just throw grenades at walls and nearly kill ourselves, because that's what our friend CMAC does every time he plays CS. Just, we troll him all the time. But thank you for watching. I've been the Sax Gamer playing Battlefield Hardline. Thank you and goodbye.